1. In 44 BC, the citizens of the Roman Republic celebrate Julius Caesar's triumphant return from war. But not everyone is rejoicing. The tribunes scold the citizens for celebrating the defeat of Pompey, a leader who they used to love. Others fear that Caesar will soar above the view of men and keep Rome in servile fearfulness.
Who's it in the press? They called on. I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar! Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March!
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow come from the throng, look upon Caesar!
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March!
He is a dreamer, let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder Cassius your desires. I'll leave you.
No, Brutus. I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am, but let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number Cassius be you one. Nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. For I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself, so well as by reflection, I, your blessed, will modestly discover to you that of yourself which you yet know not of. Yeah!
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught towards the general good, say honor in one eye, death in the other, and I will look upon both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I was born free, as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, putrid as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow, so indeed he did. But ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar said, "Help me, Cassius, for I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of the Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature, must bend his body if Caesar carelessly, but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain. When the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that eye, whose bend doth awe the world, did lose its luster. I did hear him groan, and that tongue of his, that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius," as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we our underlings. Brutus, Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meats doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now, is it Rome, indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man? Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
What you have said I will consider. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us. The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell us what hath proceeded worthy Gnome today.
I will do so, but look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius,
Caesar?
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' night. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare calf is. He reads much, he's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music, seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort, as if he scorned himself, and mocked his spirit, which could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
Hold my coat. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, there was a crowd offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and the crowd fell a shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the third cry for?
Why, for that too.
The crowd offered him thrice.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Mark Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown either. 'Twas one of these coronets. And, as I told you, it being offered him, he put it by once. But, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. And then they offered it to him again, and he put it by again. But, to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers on it. And then they offered it him a third time, and he put it a third time by. And, as he refused the crown, the rabblemen hooted and clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath that Caesar had refused the crown, that Caesar swooned and fell down in it. But for mine own part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. Did Caesar swoon?
He foamed at the mouth and fell down in the marketplace and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he had perceived that the common herd was quite pleased he had refused the crown, he plucked me up his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And had I been a man of any occupation, I would have taken him at a word. I would I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. And when he came to himself, he asked their worships if he had done or said anything amiss, that they blame it on his infirmity. And 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave him. Yet there's no heed to be taken of them, for they would have done no less if Caesar had stabbed their mothers.
And after that, Caesar came thus sad away.
Aye,
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
aye, if my mind told him I be alive when your dinner would be eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
Now I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will come home to me and I will speak to you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable medal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore, I think it is meet that noble men keep heaven with their lives. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, yet he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Good evening, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless, and why stare you so?
I've seen tempests where the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks. But never till tonight, never till now, have I seen tempests dropping fire. Either there's a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn, like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of the fire, remained unscorched. Besides, since I have not put up my sword. Against the Capitol I met a lion, who glared upon me and went surly by, without annoying me. And drawn upon a heap, 100 ghastly women stood transformed with their fear, for they swore they saw men, all in fire, walk up and down the streets. And yesterday, at noonday, the bird of night did sit upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe that these are pretentious things that call into the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. Come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow?
He doth, for he did bid Antonius send word to you that he would be there.
Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Yours good, Cassius. What night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth to be so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus embraced Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
Wherefore do you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble, when the gods do send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca, and those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you do want, or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder at the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures, and their preformed faculties to monstrous quality, you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grove and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear this crown by sea and land, in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So will I. So every bondsman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not the Romans hinds. Those that with haste will build a mighty fire begin it with weak straws. Now, what trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves as the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar? But, oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman. Then I know my answer must be made.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man who is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, for I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna, I do know him by skate. Good Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that? Metellus Cimber?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Cinna, am I not stayed for?
I'm glad on it. What a fearful night is this. 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content. Good Cinna, take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it. And throw this in at his window. That done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire, upon the next encounter, yields him ours.
Must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, that craves wary walking. Crown him. That, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth to Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, then lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Two. Unable to sleep, Brutus opens a letter from the conspirators. They taunt him. "Brutus, thou sleepest, awake and see thyself. Strike!" The conspirators appear at Brutus's house and cunningly convince him of the necessity of Caesar's death. But Brutus refuses to harm anyone else. "Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers," he resolves, and agrees to join the plot.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Not for yours, neither. You have ungently, Brutus, stolen from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further. Then you scratched your head, and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and without hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometimes hath its hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed upon your condition. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical for him to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal from his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagions of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commanded beauty, by all your vows of love, and that one great vow that did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7, who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Feel not gentle, Portia.
I should not need to, if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I, yourself, but, as it were, in sort to limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? While I within the suburbs of your good pleasure. If this be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife.
If this were true, then should I know the secret? I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not expose them. I have made strong proof of my myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Ugh. Can I bear that?
Oh,
with
ye
more
gods,
patience?
render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, one knocks. For shall go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake in the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee. All the character in my sad brows, leave me with haste.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lord,
Go bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within besides the things that we have heard and seen. Recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fought upon the clouds, in ranks and squadrons and right from afore, drizzling blood on the Capitol. And the noise of the battle hurtled through the air. Horses did neigh and dying men did groan. And ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? And Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never tasted death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They shall not have you stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this. In shame of cowardice, Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Pull up my fear that keeps you in your house, and not your own. We shall send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say that you are not well. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor, I will stay at home today. Here's Cinna, he shall tell them. All hail, good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house, and you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falser. I will not come today, tell them so. Let me know of some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so. The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate.
He is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Cinna, tell them Caesar will not come. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know of the cause. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight that she saw my statue up, which, like a fountain, with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today. This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate, in which your statue, spouting blood from many pipes, signifies that from you, great Rome shall suck reviving blood. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified. In this way have you well expounded it. I have, and you have heard what I can say. And know it now, since have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. You shall send them word that you will not come. Their minds may change. How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I will go. And look where Casca has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
What, Brutus? Are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis strucken 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So too, most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
That every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but they have not yet gone. Hail, Caesar, read his schedule.
Trebonius doth desire you to overread at your best leisure. This his humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine is a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last, sir.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
What, is this fellow mad?
Caesar! Urge you your petition to the streets.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand. Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress? Speak, hands, for me! Ah! Peace, liberty, freedom! Tyranny is dead. Run hence, crying about the streets. Yeah!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement. Ah!
Et tu, Brute, then fall, Caesar.
People and senators, be not affrighted, fly not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus, and Cassius too.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, children, cry out and run, as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit? So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death? Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our swords, and walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry, peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop then, and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty steed be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport that now on Pompey's basis lies alone no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What shall we? Forth?
Aye, every man away, Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts at Rome.
So, who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is wise, valiant, noble, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I loved Brutus and honored him. Say, I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may come to him safely, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. Alas, gentlemen, I know not what you intend. Who else is rank? Who else must be let blood if I myself? There is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half so much worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world.
Beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands in this our present act you see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful, in pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. Why, I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, do it with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand? Yours. And my valiant Casca, yours. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. that I did love thee, Caesar, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Anthony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Most noble, in the presence of thy corpse. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here was thou bade, brave heart, and here didst thou fall. And here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, crimsoned in thy left. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart, and this, indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer, strucken by many princes, dost thou here lie.
Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Mark Antony speak in Caesar's funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter.
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first and show the reason of our Caesar's death. It shall advantage more than do us wrong. Prepare the body then and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe! Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of man. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cover all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful things so familiar, that mothers shall but smile to behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with the custom of fell deed, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines, with the monarch's voice, cry, havoc! And let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell upon the earth with carrion men groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar.
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
tidings have you?
He is coming, and let me say by word of mouth. Oh, Caesar!
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. For passion I see is touching. Mine eyes, seeing those beats of sore stand in thine, have begun to water. Is your master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Go to him and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so.
Countrymen and lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but that I love Rome more. I'd you rather Caesar were living and died all slaves than that Caesar were dead to live all free men. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply. None, Brutus, none! Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this, I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same weapon for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live! Bring him a triumph woman to his house.
Build him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar! Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
Stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Go up, noble Antony.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholding to you.
Twere best to speak no harm of Brutus here.
The Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that is certain. We are blessed that we are rid of him.
Peace, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Come I to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often teared with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. Noble Brutus hath told you he was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath he answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all. Honorable men, come I to speak. In Caesar's funeral, he was my friend, faithful, and just to me. Yet, Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition! Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus hath spoke, but come I to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, and not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him on judgment? Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me, for my heart lies in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly, Caesar has had a great wrong.
Marked ye his words? He would not take the crown. Therefore, 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Good friends, I am not disposed to stir your hearts and minds to rage and mutiny. For if I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not wrong such men. Instead, I choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself, and you. And I will wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not intend to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
Read the will. We'll hear it, Mark Antony.
The will! The will! We will hear Caesar!
gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet, you know, how Caesar loved you. For you are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good. 'Tis good you know not you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Well, hear the will. Read it, Antony.
The will, the testament!
Say, countrymen, yet hear me. Shall I descend?
I'm down.
Descend!
A ring, stand round.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. Look, here, ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca hath made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. Oh, for Brutus, you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh, you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Oh, kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look, here he is himself, marred as you see with traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle.
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day!
Oh, traitors, villains!
Almost bloody sight.
They're villains, murderers!
Revenge!
About, see, burn, burn, kill, slay.
Stay. Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs I have, alas, I know not that made them do it. But they are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend, and that they know full well what gave me public leave to speak of him. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to store men's hearts. I only tell you that which you yourselves do know. I show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where an Antony would ruffle your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should call the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
We'll mutiny! We'll burn the house of Brutus!
We'll revenge him!
Therefore, take his body, burn it in the holy place.
We'll take his body.
Go, fetch fire!
Action.
mischief thou art afoot. Take what course thou wilt. Octavius, you come upon a wish. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers we must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliances be combined. Our best friends made. Our means stretched. And now let us presently go sit and counsel how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bait about many enemies. And some smile, have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Three. Antony's brilliant speech rouses Rome, and indeed Italy. Brutus, Cassius, and the other conspirators flee to strongholds in Syria to gather their forces. Yet all is not well between the chief conspirators. Thereafter, the battle is joined. Forced to take a fight that favors the enemy and their army, Brutus and Cassius are ill beset in battle. They bid farewell to each other, with Brutus vowing that he will not be taken captive to Rome.
Oh, look! Look, Titinius! The villains fly! Oh, Cassius, Brutus took the word too early, while having an advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly, whilst we, by Antony, are enclosed.
Fly! Fly, my lord! Mark Antony is at your tents. Fly, therefore, little Cassius. Fly, fly!
This hill is far enough. Look, Titinius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse, and hide thy spurs in him, till I have taken thee up to yonder troops and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will, my lord. I will be back, even with the thoughts.
Go. Pindarus, get higher on that hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard Titinius, and tell me what thou noticed about the field. This day I breathed first. Time has come round. Where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run its compass. What news, Sirrah?
Oh, my lord! Titinius is enclosed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur. Yet he spurs on. Now Titinius! Now some light! Now he lights too. Oh, my lord! And hark! They shout for joy!
Oh, come down, behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long to see my best friend taken before my eyes. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and there, saving of thy life, I swore thee that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stay not the answer, take thou the hilt. Now be a free man. When my face is turned, as 'tis now, guide thou the hilt. Oh, Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the very sword that killed thee.
So, I'm free. Yet would not so have been, durst I have done my own will. Cassius, far from this place Pindarus shall run, till never a Roman shall take note of him.
It is the change, Titinius, for Octavius is overthrown by Brutus, as Cassius's legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate with Pandarus, his bondman.
Is that not he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living.
That
Oh,
not-
from hearth!
Is that not he?
No, this was he, but Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays, so his red blood, Cassius's day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child, why dost thou show the apt thoughts of men to things that are not? O error soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but killest the mother that engendered thee.
What, Pandarus? Where art thou, Pandarus?
Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to meet with the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears, I may say, thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Hire you, Messala, and I will seek Pandarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends, and did not they put this wreath upon my brow? Did they not hear their shouts? This misconstrues everything!
Where, Messala, doth his body lie?
Lo yonder, Titinius mourning it.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come, therefore, and to Thasos send his body. His funeral shall not be in our camp, lest it discomfort us. Titinius, come. And come, Messala, let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock. In Romans, yet ere night we shall try fortune in a second fight. Come, poor remains of friends, rest on this rock.
What ill request did Brutus make to thee?
Kill him, Titinius. Look, he meditates.
Zephyr, wrestle, full of grief that can be seen even in thy eyes.
What said, my lord?
Why this, Messala? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me 2 several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is, Messala. Thou seest the world, Messala, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us.
Fly, my lord. There is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you. And you. And you, Messala. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man, but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So So fare you well at once, for Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, and my bones would rest that have but labored to attain this hour. Retreat!
Fly, my lord!
Hence, I will follow. I prithee, Lucius, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of good respect. Thy life had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Lucius. Caesar, not still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
My master's man. Lucius, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. They conquers him but make fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
I thank thee, Brutus, for thou hast proven Tintinius' saying true.
All that serve, Brutus, I will entertain them. Wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
Aye, if Messala will prefer me to you.
Do so, good Messala.
How died so?
I held the sword and he did run on it.
Octavius, then take him to follow thee, that did thy latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. He, alone, in a general honest thought, and a common good to all, made one of the conspirators. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, "This was a man."
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie.